Hey guys, so I hope you are doing well today. So let's start the quiz. So this session, this is we are going to start the SD-WAN class, and this is our first session, or you can say this is our first class, right? So today we are going to discuss about the what exactly we have in the curriculum, and we will discuss items whatever we needed for the our SD-WAN. Okay. So let's anyone else anybody wants to introduce himself before starting the class? I will introduce myself in a minute, then we will discuss about the what exactly the agenda for today's class. So fine, if you are not comfortable, I'm okay with that. So let's start the today's session. So I hope you are able to see my screen. So this session is completely dedicated for the Cisco SD-WAN, Cisco Viptela SD-WAN, and we will use the many things Cisco Viptela. Let's start. So myself, Yate, and I have more than 12 years of experience. I have worked in the many areas in the network security domain, like I worked as a cloud architect, on-premise architect, SD-WAN, design, and many more. Okay. I worked on the not only on the designing part, I also worked on the deployment and the implementations in the firewalls like Palo Alto, FortiGate, Sophos, Cyberon, Checkpoint, whatever the name I'm told you, right? Even I'm certified in all the whatever I told you here. Apart from that, I also knows about the automations like the I already certified in the automations like Cisco, and I'm good with the Python scripting and the Terraform. And apart from that, I also worked on the multiple organizations like the I worked in the banking sector, I worked in the healthcare healthcare, and I also worked on the e-commerce side and the on-premises as well. Can someone confirm are you getting my voice clearly?
Yes, you are basically
Right, thanks. So now this is about me, and let's and whatever the course we are going to discuss in today's session, that is our SD-WAN. So for the learning SD-WAN, we have some specific requirement are there that we call as a prerequisites, basic understanding of them. So basic understanding that is nothing but actually just try to understand about the what are the systems we have, like what is the networking and like that things. Second thing, it should be familiar with the basic routing. What is the static one? What is the dynamic routing? So it will be easier to learn this. But anyway, this course is little advanced to the network domain. Once you go through the complete course of the SD-WAN, so you will be eligible for the L2 and more profiles. And of course, you will get a good salary hike as well. But it's up to how you practice. That is depend. Okay, I'm not telling you to surely you will salary of 20 LPA. You will get, of course, you will get the 30 LPA as well. But it's up to you how you can learn and what you learn from this course and how you practice. Perfect. Then next we will discuss about you should have some basic understanding related to the subnetting, and of course you should be willing to learn and collaborate with the other members. So today for today's overview of the course content, lab overview and the setup, introductions to WAN, then history of the wide area network and course outcome, and next step for the enrollment. But if you're talking about the course content related items, so today I'm fully focused on the history of the wide area network. This is my first class, and I always cover this topic in the what is the history of the wide area network. And might be you will ask why Yati, we are learning about the history of the wide area network, why we are not discussing about the future of the wide area network. So I will give the answer for these questions because important to learn about the history because might be you remember in the school time you know about the history, right? We learn about the ancient fort and many more things. We learn about Maharana Pratap and mm, Akbar and Ashok Samrat, right? The reason we need to learn about the history, whatever the things we happen in the historical sessions, we should learn from the history and we'll try to know about the how we can improve in our future. That is the reason we learn about the history. That is the basic reason for that one, right? So this is the agenda. Next is okay. Let me tell you about the first what exactly the our course content we are going to deliver in the sessions and what we will learn. So let me show you the course content. Just give me a minute, please. So we have multiple modules are there in this course content. I have mentioned here, and in each module, what we are going to. And apart from that, I also mentioned you can see the column D and E. What will be the theory sessions and what will be the lab? Okay. So first sessions we will discuss about the history, which I told you already. So here we just discuss about the wide area network and how exactly they evolve in the year in the wide area network. That is the first thing we will discuss today. In the coming sessions, we will discuss about the SD-WAN. Okay, what is the over here? We try to understand about the what is the meaning of the SD-WAN, why we are using the SD-WAN. Okay, and also we will try to touch the component of the SD-WAN. And before talking about the component, what are the component we have? I will discuss about the existing system and how we can point it out the what are the coming in the our SD-WAN. How if I mention the key components here like vManage, vSmart, vBond, and V8, I would like to tell you that things already available in the legacy systems. That things already available in the legacy system, right? Now I will try to touch this with the our SD-WAN. So easily you can compare about the what is the legacy system and what is the our futuristic items are available in this device. It will be we will discuss about these items in the coming sessions, not today by the way. But I would like to say you already know about these things, but need to connect the points whatever we have in the legacy system and what is it in this device. Now, apart from we will discuss about the architectural items like here we will discuss about the vManage, vSmart, vBond, then the vAzure, the CH devices, and also we will do the configuration of the each item. So easily you can understand what is the configurations we have to require, and of course configurations we need in the our real industry as well. This is not different. Then we will discuss about the topology. So when we are talking about the SD-WAN and haven't learned about the topology, so I think it's not the justice with this course. Okay, so we need to learn about the topology here. Additionally, we'll discuss about the design of the SD-WAN. If you got the chance in your organizations and your organization is going to deploy a SD-WAN in their infrastructure, or if you are working with customer and customer is planning to have SD-WAN in their setup, so you will learn about that. I will discuss about the company. Then apart from that, we will discuss about the network security and whatever the vendors you are today you are discussing about. Today we are learning about the SD-WAN, but and after a few days or months might we are planning to learn about the other vendors, so it will be easier for you. Easily you will learn about the certificate, sorry, easily you will learn about the other vendors. So that is the reason I will cover the network security here, and especially we will discuss about the certificate authority. I know we all are the network engineers, and many people in the network domains, they are not aware about the certificate related items. This is not part of our scope, right? But whatever the technology we have in the current infrastructure, like SD-WAN, SEI, SDXS, or if you're talking about the other vendors, everybody is depend on the everybody is depend on the certificate authority only. Okay, because they make authentications, device authentications using the certificates only. That is the reason we need to learn about this one. After that, we will start onboarding of the devices, planning and do uh, onboarding of the devices. Before onboarding, we need to configure the few devices. We will discuss about that one. What are the things are there? Apart from that, we have one of the key item in the this one, that is the our SD-WAN configurations, or we call as a policies. Policy is one of the key factor in the our SD-WAN. You should aware about the SD-WAN, because if you haven't configured the policies in the SD-WAN, still SD-WAN works. This is wonderful feature, by the way. The default feature is available. If you want to gray out your skill in the, or you want to short out in the SD-WAN, so you need to learn about the policies, because it will give you the extra layer of the security in the infrastructure, or you will be able to configure what type of the topologies you require, whatever the type of the setup customer is looking for. Then we need to think about the security. Of course, we will learn about the fundamental of the network security, IPSec, and other URL filtering and other things like IPS IDS. Another thing is the quality of services. Of course, we need to learn about the quality of services, because sometimes we need to prioritize some traffic. Sometimes the traffic is not utilized or not much productive, so we need to demoralize that one. So this is the things is required. So we will learn about that one. And next is the monitoring and troubleshooting. If we haven't learned about the monitoring and troubleshooting from the any of the technologies, so we are dropping our almost 30% of the items, because without whatever the system we are going to configure or the develop, and if we are not aware about the monitoring and troubleshooting, so I will tell you, no one expert, okay, in this uh, world, or in on the earth, no one is expert. Anyone is creating a something, it should be some errors will be there. Okay, but of course, expertise come in the matter when already system is exist, okay, and something is not working, and someone call you, please resolve this issue. So the expertise come in that moment, okay, designing and building whatever the things already exist or it's not exist, and you want to configure, that is easy. But system is already running it, but suddenly it's stopped, and someone that, because every company why is looking for the experienced guy, that is the reason they are looking for the one to the break fixes. But if system is already down, there someone come and check what is the problem, okay, and that is the reason the troubleshooting and monitoring come comes here, and the experienced people also comes here during this part only, okay. Apart from that, we also discuss about the some of the advanced topics like cloud on RAM. This is one of the good feature, high availability and the redundancy. Apart from that, we also discuss about the one of the wonderful features, that is the zero touch provisioning. And also last two sections are not related to the our SD-WAN, migration strategies and the case studies are not related to this one, but of course we need to learn these things. I included these features, this part in this course because whenever you are going to plan for the SD-WAN or you want to work in the SD-WAN, so what happened actually? SD-WAN is already network system is already available and they want to develop a SD-WAN over the existing system, right? So what happened nowadays? You need to think about the migration. Okay, if you're not aware about the migration, so it will not be the good feature for you, right? So that is the reason I included these features, so it will give you the extra grip, so you can easily understand about the what is the exactly happening here and what you want to learn. Got it? So this is the course content. I want to take a pause here. Anyone has any questions related to this one? If you are okay, then I will come to the next part. Okay, perfect. Then if you don't have any questions, so let me go to the our presentations and let's check for the other item again. So this is completely we discuss about the course content, including the lab and all the things. Now this is my lab setup. How we what are the lab we have? So let me show you this one. So you can see this is the things, right? This is the setup we have in our infrastructure. Like you can see here, we have a complete controllers are there. Like we smart we manage. These are the actual devices, CS server, and this is the pieces we are controlling these devices. This is my another data center, right? And you can see here this is my VH devices and this is my CA devices that we are going to use for the Cisco Viptela. Sorry, uh, Cisco Catalyst 8000 series switches, virtual switches. You generally heard about in the industry that is we call it 8 kV. Okay, and this is the systems actually we will use complete infrastructure and we build our lab from this scratch. Okay, this is from my, but same lab you will get the access from your side as well. This is completely a separate and the isolated lab for the everybody, so they can easily practice what exactly running in the system, right? So let me go to the our actual today's session. So let's discuss about the evolution of the history of the wide area network, and we'll just try to cover up these items. Okay, so let's start with the 1970. First thing is coming the market, that is the leased line. Okay, what is the okay before going to this one? So let me show you the some related to what is the meaning of the wide area network and why we need. Okay, so you can see my screen right here. So this is my data center. Let's consider initially in the initial era of the networking domain, we have started some of the and some of the things, right? So we just try to focus on the wide area network, or we also call as a WAN, right? So initially what happened actually, there is a in the initial days one bank is there. Okay, they started their services, banking services in the one of the locations. Let's call it out. This is Mumbai location. Okay, they started their services in Mumbai and everything seems is good. They have two servers. Okay, there is a one staff here who is handling the cash. There another guy is there who is handling the legal team, and another people also there. They are handling some other items in the banking sector. Everything is working okay. They don't have any problem. Now, what happened actually? So generally, whatever the system they have a one switch router is then everybody's connected with that one and everything seems working perfectly without any problem. Now, what happened actually? They started banking another locations. Let's check out that is Delhi, and this is another we call it Chennai. Okay, they started their services in Delhi and Chennai. This is two branches. Now, what exactly happened here? They also plus servers here, two servers here. Now, what happened actually? They provided service, and everybody is comfortable with their services provided by the bank. Now, what happened? Bank launched one service that we call as a checkbook. Okay, they started a service for the checkbook. So earlier, what happened? The people are coming to the bank and ask, just fill out the one and send to this guy, sorry, on this cash counter, and he guys check the details about that man and check the identity and provide the cash. Okay, but the market is evolving and the customers are coming frequently, so they have some problem with the handling, so they started their services, checkbook services. Now they provided checkbook to the each of the customers. Now what happened actually, this guys visited with this banking again and used the checkbook. So this guy know about, okay, I'm getting the check from this guy. He checked the identity in their system, so he knows this is the perfect. But the problem what happened actually, this guy, let's take an example. This is the one guy. Okay, it's living in the Mumbai and his open account in this. Okay, now, but this is the actually a salespeople. This guy belongs to the sales team, not from the banking sector, from the another organization. So he frequently travel from one city to another city. Okay, so all the cash, whatever the cash he has, is deposited in this bank. But this bank is running on the other all location as well, and this bank provide the services as a check services to people and same services running on the other branches as well. And bank is ask them that you can withdraw your money from the my any of the branches. So what in that case, they all branches are separated. Okay, they are connected with the locally. They don't have a communications from the one location to this location. So now what happened actually? Bank has already announced one services that check services it should be available at all three locations. What happened? They don't have a updated data from the one location to the another location. So what happened in that case? They're sending data over the email or something, and they are facing some problem. Or sometimes they are sending the hard disk to the another location. So you can understand the traveling time is very high, and the people who are sitting or who is traveling from one location to the other location, they are facing some problem. So same thing happened with this guy as well. He deposited his this money in these locations and he withdrew the 5,000 rupees from here. Okay, now he's traveled to the Delhi locations. Okay, he's coming to Delhi and his cash is might be expended or the any other task. Now he's looking for the another cash because that time is online marketing, sorry, online banking, that things are not available. So he reached his bank. Now his bank asking for the check. So he asked provide a checkbook. He already a checkbook. He already handed the check to this guy, and now the guy asked, we will ask this check to the our main branch that is in the Mumbai, and once we have a confirmations, okay, then we will money. So this guy asked, okay, how much time it required. So they said it's 3 to 7 business days we need to give you money in the Delhi location. So you can understand this guy is visited Delhi and it's looking for the immediate money. Okay. But this guy said, we will give you the 3 to 7 days. So this is a big problem. Bank knows about this one. This is not acceptable. Okay. So what happened? The owner of this bank, okay, he's just thinking about how we can resolve this problem. Okay, how we can resolve this problem. So he con- contacted with some technical peoples or technical community. Okay, technical community suggested you can why you are not using the wide area network. So this is knows about he knows about the basic idea about the technology, but he's not aware of it. So what happened? The guy suggested just hire one network engineer. Okay, like us. They hire one network engineer. Okay, network engineer is joined this company. Whatever the bank is there. Now he's discussing with this guy. He's the owner of this organization. Now this guy suggested, this network engineer suggested why we are not using the wide area network. This is the one of the good solution that is available in the market. We can use that one, so it will be easy our problem. Okay, and easily people can check whatever things running on the Mumbai location and same thing is running on the other locations. So this is the right, this is the owner of the bank, so he knows about the criticality of this one. So he said, okay, let's process for this one. So they discussed about the this wide area network, and now they contacted with this who's providing services. So generally is provided by the internet service provider, we call as a, or call it out as a service provider. So just called out. Now the evolution has started. Okay, and we are talking about this era, right? We are talking about the 1970. That time we have a lease line is available. Okay, what exactly do the lease line? Let's try to understand about here. So he asks about the this one. So he connect with the service provider. Service provider, yes, we will provide the services. And what type of the services you are provide? So he said, currently we are providing the lease line connection. So what happened in the lease line connections? So he said, we will give you connectivity from the one location to the another locations directly. So they provide a connectivity from this point to this branch and this to this one. Okay. So what happened? Okay. So these guy is understand now we have a direct connectivity from the my Delhi branch to the Mumbai location, same from Chennai to the my these locations. Now he's completely understand. So whatever the servers available in the my these locations, the people who are sitting in the daily locations can easily access that one. Understood. So they are feed all the services, whatever the checkbook issued this customer, they easily feed all the data in the server. Okay, now what happened? This is the private line, so it should be secure that time because there is not a big concern at that time for the security. But of course, this is a private communication, so it's secure that time. Now you can understand they can easily, and now this time is dropped out to 3 to 4 hours. Okay, why I mentioned the 3 to 4 hours? Because the speed and all the things problem. So easily they can check out in 3 to 4 hours and they can easily make the payment. Now understand, you can understand earlier we needed 3 to 7 days, but now only 3 to 4 hours. Even sometimes is very less if we have good speed. So this is the first era of the leased line connectivity. This is a point-to-point connections, reliable, but what the problem is, this is very expensive. Why it's expensive? Because we need a direct communication from one locations to the other locations. If I have 100 branches, right? I have 100 branches, so I need 100 connections. So it critical to manage that one. This is one of the problem with the solutions, but At that moment, the problem whatever has the problem has with this bank owner solved by the leased line connectivity. Now let's check out what the other solutions come in the later sessions. So in the 1980, the X.25 network are coming. That is the packet switch network. Okay, might be heard about the packet switching and all the things. And this is widely used for the banking and the ATM system, but it's slower. So let's try to focus. What exactly this one? Let me erase these items and just explain again this item. I hope you understand about the solutions. So let me give you some more idea about the solutions. So let's start with the X.25. So X.25 is little faster as compared to the X2. These solutions come after the release line connectivity. So what happened in that case? Okay, this is already a company owner is there. Now it's already have a solutions to make a connectivity from one location to the other location, and he's happy with that one. He also hired one network engineer. Okay, so his support for the all the communications between the different data centers to the our branch locations. You can say head office to the branch locations. Now the problem with that one is they are very expanding in completely in the different regions. Earlier, they have Mumbai locations. They open branches in the Delhi. Second, they open in the Chennai. Now, Mangaluru, and many more locations like Jaipur and many more other locations because they are expanding rapidly. Okay, so now the problem is they are not able to handle the cost of these lease line solutions. So they discuss with this guy, the owner of this organization, again discuss with the network engineer, and network engineer said, okay, let me check with the what are the things are running in the wide area networking nowadays. Let me check with the service provider as well. So the service provider, he told we have a solution that is the X.25. Okay, what happened in that case of the X.25? So generally, this is solution is also similar, but here is some concept of the service provider cloud. Okay, what exactly happened in the service provider cloud? One second, okay, guys. Okay, so this is a service provider. Okay, this expert 25 what exactly do in the service provider time? We provide a actually create one solutions that available in the completely global solution. They're putting their routers every places, okay, in every cities. This network you can understand. So what exactly happened here? He checked with the service provider. Service provider said, do not worry about the one-to-one connection with your different branches. Okay, just connect to your branch with the my locations. Okay, my routers, and I will make a communication with the, your whatever the branches available in the our in the India, okay, because our network is completely available in the in India, so you can connect whatever you want from the from the whatever the location you want. So you can understand. Earlier we need a one-to-one connection from the each location, so it's hard to scale. Second thing, we need to provide cost, okay, but here we need a just one communication with the service provider, and service provider able to handle these things. Understood. So and again this is a packet switching network they are using. So what happen if dr- in the packet switching they are divide the data into the packets and sending to the network devices. So understand it will be little faster as compared to the other solutions, right? And it's also save the cost. After that, it's work, but there has some challenges are there. Okay, challenges are there. What exactly the challenges? It's not reliable, first thing. And second thing, they also facing some problems with the communication. Sometimes it give a very slow response. Okay, so next solutions come in the market, that is the 1980s, that is the family. RAM relay is also the cost-effective solutions. Okay, and it's also faster. But the problem with this one is, let me give you idea here. The problem with this one is not scalable much. Okay, if you we have a limited solution here, of course it saves the your too much cost as compared to this one. But what happened here actually in case of the prime relay, again it's send connecting to your network from this locations, different locations. The problem is it's this technology is working on the L2 network, okay, but your traffic at server is running on the L3 network. So he never understand about the what exactly going on this network, okay, and it's also using the DLC number to make the communication. So what happened? We need to generally at the data center or the service provider side, they are using a mapping service for the DLCs. Like let's take an example. This is my head office. DLC number is 101, and the branch 1 DLC number is 102, and branch 2 DLC number 102. So 103. So they are mapping the service, or 103 will be mapped with the 102, 10 also mapped with the 103. So you can understand it's very limited to expand your network. You're not able to expand if you have too much branches are there. Okay, of course is cost effective as compared to the leasing connectivity, but they have some challenges with that one. Okay, so after that, one another era is studied started in 2000, and that is the MPLS. Even might be heard about the MPLS because these are the technologies. Lease line also available nowadays, but you might be haven't seen the X.25 and the frame relay. I was working when I was working initially almost 12 years back in the initial days of my career. I seen the frame relay at the few of the locations, but I haven't seen the X.25. But lease line also available even in today's I seen in the many organizations, Leased Lines are also available nowadays. MPLS is the changing the complete infrastructure, complete networking domain. So let's discuss about the how exactly the things are there and how it will work. Is come in the 2007. So let me remove this one. So and they have some problems that discuss with the service provider. Now service provider asks, okay, we have a good solution. If you want to compare that, we will give you the solution how it works. Okay. So again, this is the SD-WAN. Sorry, MPL is actually a shared. Generally, we call as a shared network. But why we call as a shared network? Let me tell you here. So what happened actually? This is our service provider. It's available everywhere in the India. They put their everywhere in the India, okay, and easily they are connected from the one locations to another locations internally. They have a good communications internally, okay, and they easily make a communication. Now they are discussing with the service provider, and service provider tell him you can connect, please connect your router with my device. Okay, connect with my device, and I easily make you communications with the other locations. So you can see here, it's connected. Okay, now this guy is confused with this one. Okay, this is a complete infrastructure. You have a complete cloud in your side. Okay, and you are providing the services, so it should be costlier. So service provider said, yeah, cost will be the high, but it's whatever the network I am using is not limited for you. Okay, this is the shared network. It's not used by only you, but it's also used by the other organization as well. But whatever the route sent by whatever the traffic is sent by the data center, it only reach to your branches only, not shared with the other locations or other companies. Let's take an example. This is used with the company ABC, also used by the XYZ, also used by the uh, let's triple A. This are the different organizations. So, okay, it's used by the provided this service provider provided service to this organization. So what happened in that case? In that case, its network is shared by the everyone, and this organization is using without any problem, and also used by this bank as well. So what happened in that case? The whatever the network is used by the whatever the network used by the this location is shared all the locations, but this data is never shared by this other companies or other customers, because whatever the network used by the bank, it's completely separate from the other. Same for this one as well. Understood? So we call it as shared network, but it's completely separate. But again, we are using as a shared network, so we have some problems here. Okay, because this is again there is some problems are there in the MPLS as well, and how MPLS resolve this problem. So let's consider this is one of the our organization, sorry, one of the my system, and I want to communicate this another system at the branch one, and this is my head office. Okay, and because this travel via the this multiple routers are there. Okay, so what happened in that case? How exactly the MPLS work? Whatever the data is sent by this one, MPLS doing nothing but just put the labels, like we put the label 10 at this router. Okay, now send this to, so might be just use the level 20, and something is will be used by the level 30. So you can understand my data is encapsulated here, and overhead it's putting a one level, that is our level 10, 20, something is there. Got it? So easily it can communicate one location to other location using the level. So this is the actually MPLS is part of the layer 2 and layer 3. Generally we call as a 2.5. Layer 2.5. It's working in the layer 3 as well and layer 2. So it's we generally call it as a 2.5 layer. Okay. Now MPLS is working very good without any problem, and it will solve many problems, and also it provide a complete SLA as well. So when we talking about SLS or service level agreement, so data center or want to communicate with the branch or branches want to connect with the data center. So what happens? Service provider, they assure you will get the only 20 millisecond latency from this to this. Why they are committed with this one? Because whatever the network they are using from end to end, it's used by the service provider only. Okay, so they knows about the best path, best routing, and the things. That is the reason they provide a very less latency up there. But again, the cost is one of the bigger problem for this one. MPLS also is a very costly solution. So after the evaluations, they are happy with the solutions, whatever they provided by the service provider. They are happy, but now these guys are again problem with this one. We are not able to bear the cost of the MPLS. We need another solution. They are contacted with the this guy contacted with the network engineer, and network engineer said, yeah, there is a new technologies available in the market. If you want to proceed, we can configure that one. Okay. So said, yeah, we need to think about that. And what is the solution is there? So he said the internet. Internet is very new in nowadays, and we can explore that one. Okay. So how we can proceed that one? So let me erase this one and let me show you how it works actually. This is the cheaper solution as compared to the whatever the solutions provided by the MPLS. But of course, MPLS is a very good solution and it's available nowadays as well. So network engineers check with the service provider and service providers provided some solutions. Okay, this is the actually internet. Okay, you just need to connect your from this location. Okay, so service providers, the same thing happened with the MPLS as well. So he said MPLS is a different story. They have a completely dedicated solutions, and you are connecting with the my network only in case of the MPLS. But here you can connect with the any of the vendor. Don't worry about it. You can connect here as like Geo, you can connect at the another location is the Vodafone, and at other locations might be you are using the Airtel. So it's we don't have any problem. You can use whatever the network you want, but easily you can configure and you are reachable from one location to the other locations. Now, what happened actually? They are getting public IP addresses from here. Okay, random public IP address they will receive at each of the locations, and all three locations are the reachable from the one location data center to, if we're talking about data center to branch and branch to the another branch and data center to the branch to, all are the reachable because we have a public IP addresses out there. So he's happy with that solutions. Okay. But network engineer said, of course, this is solution is cheaper, okay, but we have a problem in this one. Multiple problems are there. He said multiple problems. First thing, if we want to run the our routing protocols, okay, if we are evolving and we have 100+ branches are there, okay, we have 100+ branches are there, and we are running the multiple network at the center side. 100 networks we are running here. Now it's a problem to put the static route again and again. Understood? So it is a very big problem is there. How we can resolve that one? Okay. This is the one problem is there. And second thing is the as we are using internet, okay, and we are sending data from one location to the other location, and we are trying to access the servers we are putting in our data center or in the branches, and we are accessing over the internet. So it's security is a big concern because other parties who's the hacker or someone available on the internet, right, he can easily check the what data is running on the system, and he can explore and he can sorry, distribute this information to our competitors as well. So this is the big okay. Now is this guy is afraid. Okay, the bank owner is afraid now. This is very big problem is that cost is the anyway we are saving in the cost. We need to think about the other solutions. So what is the other solution is there? So this guy, again, this is the network engineer and this is like us and this is an intelligent guy, right? He suggested one solutions like we can resolve the one solutions. First one is the routing. Okay, we have a one solutions generally we call as a tunnel. Okay, now this guy, of course, this is a bank owner is non-technical, right? So he said, I don't understand about the tunnel. What exactly the meaning? Just can you explain little more about this one? So network engineer said, yeah, of course, sir. I will give you the complete explanation of how exactly it works. Okay. So this guy is happy now, and he just telling that one, right? So what happened actually? We have a one box in the our data center, okay, and we are getting one IP address. So owner said, yes, I know about the IP address. That's good. And same thing happened at my branch side, okay, and it's also getting the another IP address. So what happened actually? We have a two option in case of the tunneling. One is the GRE. Okay, of course, this is also the evolution. Okay, this is coming after the networking. This is also part of the our evolutions, and we have another solution is the IPSec. So this guy just ask about the what is the meaning of the GRE and what is the meaning of the IPSec? What is the differences between this one? So network engineer explained about this first thing, generic routing encapsulation. So what happened actually here? This router is connected with the another network and this router is connected with another. But one we don't have any problem. GR is doing a like that. It's creating a one separate tunnel or over the tunnel on the existing network. So what happened once we have a tunnel? So our devices behave like we have a direct communication with this location. Okay, so first part, routing part, we easily resolve with this solution. So what exactly the requirement for routing? Yes, we need a direct communications for the two locations. Like I want to run any IGP protocol, REAP, OSPF, or the EIGRP. I need a same broadcast domain, right, between the two routers. So we easily can achieve one of this using the GRA tunnels. So now this owner is happy, but again, this is fine. I'm okay with the GRE, but my main problem and what actually I'm afraid from is the security. I can't compromise with the security because nowadays many incident we seen, right? So I don't want to take any risk with the security, right? So this engineer is, I already told you, this is smart, right? So he told, sir, I have another solution as well. That is the IPsec. So what is the meaning of the IPsec? So he said, is actually whatever the explanation I give you for the GRA, the same thing is done by the IPsec. But what happened actually when GRE works? So my data is like I'm sending ABC, same data is sent another location is ABC only. Okay, so it's a plain text, so it's not secure. But when I'm using a IPsec, so when I mention ABC, first is encrypts this data, okay, and then send to the other location, and other locations got the encrypted data, then it decrypt the data and see this is ABC. So you can understand whatever the people are seeking or the hackers are available on the internet, they are not able to see the my data. So now this guy is happy and said, okay, we go with the this feature, okay, IPsec, and we can use this for it. Now network engineers happy with that approach, and now it is deploying the IPsec tunnels from the one location to the location. So you can understand, like they have an underlay network and the overlay. Might we heard about this very beautiful terminologies, underlay network and the overlay network. So when I'm talking about beautiful word for the underlay and overlay, so of course this is very interesting things because whatever the technologies now available in it, as like if you're talking about the SD-WAN, if you're talking about the VXLAN, SCI, SASE solutions, everything is on the overlay network. So let me explain you what is the meaning of the overlay network. So let's consider this is the multiple routers are there. Okay, and this is my this is my location A, this is my location, and this is my location B. Now that as I told you, right, we already good with our IP signals and we already received the IP addresses. So we are getting IP addresses 1.1.1.1 here, and here we received a 2.2.2.2, and further is connected with LAN here. Same thing available at this side as well. Now we want to form a tunnel with this one. So either we can go with the GRA and IPsec. It's we can go with our requirement. Generally, we prefer IPsec because it's the secure one, and we in some cases we go with the GRA if we are looking for some low latency communications between two locations. That time we will go with the GRA. That time we need to compromise with our security, but it's again completely depend on the what solutions we need. Okay, I'm not recommended any of this for now, but of course, if I have a recommendation, I always give the IPsec. Now you can see, so we have a this is service provider network and this is service provider network, and we received the communications and connectivity from them, and we are able to connect locations, and we getting the public IP address on the this locations and this location as well. Location. Now both the sites are reachable. As I told, these are the public communications, public IP address, and they are globally reachable from one location to the another locations. Now you can understand this is from the this location and this is come from this location. Now we decided to we need to run a routing from between these two locations. So we start form some tunnels. So we go with the GRA or IPsec, whatever is there. So they are creating a virtual network here, or we call as a virtual tunnel, right? And we are okay with that. We already know, but actual data is traveling from this location to this location is we think this is traveling via the virtual tunnels. But actually virtual tunnel also founded on the our actual infrastructure. So this actual data is traveling from this one only, but containing some header and all the things. So it's behave like the data is going from one location to the another location, like they are thinking it's going via the tunnels. But actual traveling over the underlay network. So generally physical network. So whatever the physical network we have here, we generally call as an underlay network. Okay. And the whatever the network we are using on the public side or the virtual side, that we call as overlay. Okay. So just keep in mind physical network is the my underlay network, and whatever the logical network are there, network. Of course, definitions have a little variations are there, but I just give you the basic idea about the understanding of the underlay network and the overlay just for the feasibility for now. Physical network is the underlay and the logical is the my overlay just for the understanding. There is some little variations are there. We'll go deeply in the our coming sessions. Fine. So this is the thing. So now this guy is happy. They have are able to the routing, they have a cheap solutions, they have a security, everything is there. Now the another problem is coming, or we can say another solution is there. So let me things and let me expand that item. Now they are happy with the solutions, they are good with that, whatever the things are there, and they able to communicate from one location to other location without any problem. Now many other solutions are come in the picture like DMVPN, dynamic multi-point VPN. So what happened? They want to form a communications from this location to other locations, they are set up like that. They create one network here and they will connect automatically connect the other location, even they have 1,000 branches. But the problem with this solution is they are not able to manage easily. If they have 1,000 branches, okay, and any three of the tunnels are there, they need to check properly. So they need a high number of the manpower to manage this network. This is the one problem. Okay, so this everything is fine. So in 2010, actually the SD-WAN come in the 2014. Okay, first the SD-WAN come in the 2014, but I'm just mentioning the decades here. So I mentioned 2010. So SD-WAN come in the market in 2010 decade, and it started. First focus is the cloud, software as a service, and cheaper transport. This is the one of the main motive of the SD-WAN. Like another good feature is provided by the centralized control in our routing and many more items. If you not understand about the application routing, centralized control, do not worry about it. We have a 30 hours to explain and understand each of the items. Not only understanding, we also practice this item as well. So do not worry about it. This is completely a things we are going to discuss. Now, many other vendors are available in the SD-WAN. That is, Viptela is one of the vendor which we are going to discuss, but other vendors, VeloCloud, Silver Peak, Genix, Genix Cloud, many things are available, right? So let me give you some idea about what exactly they can do. So also SD-WAN is also a wide area network. Okay, in the wide area network, try to control our complete wide area network without any problem. So the here first thing is the carrier agnostic. So do not worry about the what type of the carrier you have. You can connect your locations, right? This is internet, or if you are using a broadband connections, or you are using a LTE connection, F5, sorry, 1 second, guys. 5G connections, it's supported by all type of carriers. So easily you can check. So might be you have a questions, right? How it will form the tunnel, because in case of the broadband and the LTE and 5G, we are not getting a dedicated IP address. How it will form the IPSec tunnels or things? So you can understand. Of course, this is a overlay network completely. First thing, this is completely overlay network, and this is not rely on the static IP address we need to configure on the device. Do not worry, it's not relying on the specific dedicated IP address, but it uses a different sort of the features to control these things. Second thing, we have multiple components. In one of the components is provide the complete dashboard. Okay, complete dashboards that contain all the informations. If you have 1,000 branches are there, okay, 1,000 branches are there, so easily you can see your 1,000 branches are running, how many branches are down, how many are running, how many tunnels are up, how many tunnels are down, what is the latency you have between the data center to the branch one and branch one to the branch. This is the very big and beautiful solution is there. After that, you also control your applications using the application over routing. So do not worry about, I will very in very detail in coming sessions, but just try to understand this is the good features we have. So this is the evolution model which I told you. Like nowadays we call it the SD-WAN as a modern SD-WAN, because we have some other sort of the solutions are available, like SASE solutions also available. SSC solutions also included with this one. So it will be easier to understand about the our coming sessions. Now I'm letting let take a pause here. If you have any questions, I'm open for the questions now. Then we will discuss about some more items for today. Anybody wants to do anything? So perfect. Then if you don't have any questions, I'm okay with that. Let's discuss about the next item. So of course, we have a good features are there in the SD-WAN that we will cover in the coming sessions. Okay. So completion of the course before going to this one. Okay, let me go to the this slide. So this is some challenges we have in our legacy system that we already discussed today. But let me give you about the some idea about the challenges. First thing, insufficient. Okay, in the legacy system, we are facing some problem related to the bandwidth because we are using the costlier solutions like leased line connectivity, MPLS, or other solutions. Of course, when we have a high bandwidth, we need to pay extra money for that one. So we always suffering with the insufficient bandwidth related issues. So this is fine, but of course, in SD, when we have a cheaper solutions, we can explore over the cheaper solutions because SD-WAN is completely a career agnostic, right? We can use whatever one. Like I told you, we can go with our broadband connections, LTE connections, 5G connections. Of course, they are the cheaper the solutions. Limited application awareness in our legacy system. So, of course, in our legacy system, we don't. This is I mentioned the limited, but I would like to say here we don't have control over the applications in the legacy system because we are not able to control the applications problem. Application downtime is one of the big problem. Okay, I will give you the good example for the application downtime for a minute. Let me explain this item in a minute. Let me discuss this topic. Second thing is the high cost. Of course, we are using the MPLS or leased line connectivity, so we need extra connect, right? Hard to manage. As I told you, we don't have any central dashboard to manage. If we are running 1,000 branches, so we are not able to handle the 1,000 branches without the limited resources, manpower resources. Okay, so we need a high number of the resources to manage the infrastructure. If we have a high number of the branches, ability issues, so we have a one solution in our SD-WAN, that is we call as a ZTP zero touch provisioning. So this is one of the very beautiful features we have in this. Easily, we just ask anybody, even we can ask to the non-technical people, just connect the cable and over automatically everything seems good, and it's part of the our. Second thing, we have a problem with the cloud related applications. Of course, we need to travel via our data center in case of the communication. So we have a very big problem with the cloud related issues in the legacy system. And security is one of the big concerns. So this is the problems we have. Now let me give you some examples for the how we can evolve these problems in the coming sessions. Of course, we will discuss about the application hour downtime. So we have a good features. I'm not going to discuss today. I don't want to confuse you, but we have a solution that is the application hour routing. And of course, this is one of the feature actually how we can control it is tracking the complete infrastructure using the three items. One is the latency, second thing is the packet loss, and third one is the jitter. Okay, and based on this three information, this is the for the any communication, and our SD-WAN is tracking this information for every minute for all the locations, so easily can control all the systems. Security, so of course, my all the SD-WAN devices are secure because they itself work as a small firewall box because they are able to handle the URL filtering, applications control, IPS, and the IDS. So easily we can control. Another thing is the scalability. So when we have a issue, whenever we have a problem with the MPLS, like in case of the MPLS, we have to scale as soon as possible. This is problem because we need to discuss with the service provider. Service provider also check internally if they have availability for their location or not, especially for the remote locations. If there is no availability, they will check with the other vendors and internally they make a communication. So you can understand almost 8 weeks to 8 weeks to make a communication at the I'm talking about the minimum 8 weeks. Okay. Currently I'm working for one of the organization in the for this even they asking honestly, they asking for 6 months to make a communication with one of the branch. Okay, might we think about the Europe is very developed countries and why this problem? But let me tell you, if you're talking about the India, okay, India is very dense. Okay, we have very nearby cities are there, and we have a high network connectivity is there as compared to the Europe and the Americas because they are the very large. Okay, and people and uh, cities are very distant, right? So they are not, their network is not completely available at the all the locations. They have traveled much more. Whenever you are looking for some communication in the India, might be if you are looking for the MPLS connection at the remote location, might be you will get a connection in 30 days. But when you're talking about Americas and the Europe, European countries, so what happened actually? They asking for the 3 months, 4 months, and sometime more. Okay, minimum asking for the 90 days because I worked for the many projects and I see these problems. So this is the problem actually. This is the scalability is one of the problem because using if you are using a MPLS connection, so it will always be a problem. But what happen in case of the SD-WAN? Internet is available at all the places, right? Second thing, we can connect with your LTE and 5G connection. So you can ask anyone, just connect the cable to the WAN port of this device, and my device is region. So easily connect with the our main uh, whatever the controllers are, then easily get all the configuration if we are go with the zero touch provisioning. So this we'll discuss about this one and we will do the practical as well. But this is one of the good feature. We can scale up our device or the any branch within 10 minutes. This is the benefit. Okay. Now let me go to the as I this is our first lecture today, right? So let me give you and let me give you about the what exactly we learn upon completion of this course. Okay, first thing you will learn because this course is completely for Cisco Viptela scratch to the design course, so you can learn everything from scratch to the design. So after completion of the course, this course you will be able to planning, design, and implementation of the SD-WAN because in this sessions we will learn about the how we can plan. I already have a dedicated sessions for that one. How we can plan for the SD. Second thing we learn about the designing, how we can design the effective solution for the SD-WAN. We will not go with the full mesh topologies. Of course, full mesh topology is one of the simplest solution is in the network domain. Okay, and of course, it's a good, but we will not go with that one because when you are working with the organizations, there who has 1,000+ branches, right? Enterprise solution, especially 1,000 branches are there, and if you go with the full mesh solution, every 1,000 locations they are using a two transporter. One is the MPLS and one is the internet. So you understand, two tunnel with other 999 branches. So almost 2,000 tunnel at one locations, and you have 1,000 locations to understand. You have a 20 lakh tunnels. Okay, 20 lakh tunnels in the 1,000 branches setup. So understand, of course, the who is working in the network, surely it will be suicide in 7 days. It is not able to handle this much of the load, right? Every day, 3 tunnels or 4 tunnels are down is with minimum ratio. Okay, even 1 or 2% ratio is minimum. Okay, just let's take in a 1% ratio tunnel down every day. Okay, this is completely a probability, right? So 10 tunnels down, understand the network engineer who's working at the this data center or the network operations, 10 tunnels are down, so he just able to handle the 10 tunnels only in the 8 hours. He will not able to understand about the what is running in the other. So this is one of the critical problems. So we will not follow the full mesh topology for the enterprise network. We need some other type of the solution. So we consider in our infrastructure same like we did in our real infrastructure, right? So you will learn about the planning, designing, and implementations for infrastructure. Second thing is the configuring. So of course we are going to configure each of the devices because as I told you, right, I already show you the course and I also mentioned the, what are the things we are going to lab and all the things you can see in the column me. So we have a too much, almost we have a 20 labs are there in this session. So you will get all the ideas about the what exactly we have to configure, we manage, we want, we smart, whatever the this magic keywords are there or magic components are there, we will discuss about that one and we will do the practicals. And apart from that, we will learn about some advanced control and application of our policies. Also, we learn about the migration strategies. So I'm not going point by point here, but after completion of this course, you will be eligible for the designing of the SD-WAN using the Cisco Viptela solution, and also you will be capable to learn the other solutions available in the market, other vendor solutions, right? Also, you will be capable to attempt the Cisco exam, that is the Cisco SD-WAN INSWI. The code is 30415. You can easily able to attempt this course. So this is the things I want to discuss in today's session. So if you have any your side, you can ask in Hindi as well or in the English, whatever the language you comfortable, you can ask with me. I'm perfectly fine with that. Anyone has any questions related to the any of the sections we discussed today? Because we have a classes from the next week, from the Sunday, sorry, coming Saturday, we have a second class, and on our third floor and the coming session. So complete this 32 hours course. It's completely 32 hours course. Okay. So we will learn about the each and every item here. So anyone has any question here?
Yeah, I have. Am I
Yeah,
audible?
yeah. Yes.
So, how will we start with the SD-WAN? What are the initial labs and what I will get in labs?
So first thing, I will do the practical in the first thing we will go with the theory sessions. We will try to understand about the fundamental of the SD-WAN. Okay, learn about the some basic items related to the prerequisite item of the SD-WAN, like what is the control plane, what is the data plane, how exactly the use case, what are the routing forms. Then we also learn about the certificate authority. That is one of the critical item in that one. And I will give the from the scratch. We do a 3 hour session for the uh, certificate authority. We will give the how we can deploy the certificate, what is the root certificate, what is this is the basic fundamental we learn initially. Then once we are good with this basic fundamental, of course this is the theoretical session, then we'll start the configuring the our devices. So I will give the basic idea about the each of the component. Basically we have a 5 components here: vmanage, vsmart, vbond, ch and the vh. So we will learn about the each of the component, what exactly the configurations required. Okay, and after that we will start configuring the SD-WAN fabric. So in SD-WAN fabric we will onboard all the devices one by one. Correct. This is the basic things. Then we will discuss about the further different practicals. Is it? Do you have anything else? Anybody else want to any questions? Like Tarun, Mohit, and Ankit. So, so I think Ankit, Mohit, and Shannon previous sessions they already take the classes earlier. So that's fine if you're comfortable with the sessions whatever discussed today. So I'm just trying to wrap up the sessions today. This is the things I want to discuss in our today's class. Of course, in the next class we will start some fundamental ideas about the SD-WAN, and we'll just try to connect the dots from our legacy system to the modern systems. So fine then, if you don't have any questions, so we will wrap up for today's sessions. Then might be you will get this recording sessions available in the YouTube soon. So if you want, you can go through as well, and you can share with your colleagues or whatever they want to learn SD. Perfect. Then you can send me the message. So perfect. Then I'm okay with these sessions, and thanks for it. Bye.